Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my Clever Creations Live with Lori. I am Lori Longwell, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and happy to be here. I'm a little bit under the weather, so to speak. I've had a cold since, I don't know, midweek. Really thought at first it might have been an allergy thing because I did some garden cleanup and helped pick up some leaves and whatever, and often that will kind of get me going. So that might have started it. I don't know. But anyway, it led into it. So got a little bit of a husky voice going on here today, but at least I can talk. So excuse me for just a second while I get myself refreshed on my tablet. See what we've got going on here. Okay, hope some folks can join me this morning, and if not, please be sure when you're commenting either on the live or the replay to say hi, leave a little message, chat with each other, ask me some questions. I love to interact while doing my Facebook Live, but I also look at the replay and the comments, and I'm way behind. I'm really sorry. I've just got a lot of things going on with Stampin' Up! Stuff, and so I am a little bit behind on looking at Prize Patrol. Good morning, Julie. So I do need to go back and do some prize drawings. Haven't been doing them every week. I'm gonna scatter them out. I'm gonna surprise you now and again. So always be sure you're leaving a comment. Doesn't have to be anything big. Just saying hi is good or something like that, so I can get you in a Prize Patrol drawing. So good morning, Jackie. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. So I've just got a few quick announcements that I'll make in a minute. We'll give this a little bit just to see if some other folks jump on first thing here. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. I have just some herbal tea that I made. It's iced, so I've got some cold tea that I've been drinking. I love my coffee. My problem is I like coffee with creamer, and I've kind of come to the conclusion, I let myself have it early in the morning, but I think the creamer makes me cough more. So I just had a tiny bit this morning, and then I'm trying to drink tea. So hopefully I'm not going to go into a coughing spasm, and if I do, I'll excuse myself for a second. So anyway, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Hi, Sheila. So some real exciting things, and when I turn you down to the table, we'll look at a little more, but while I'm face up here for now, I am just super excited, everyone, because the month of October is a huge Stampin' Up! Join promotion. I mean, this is one that I've been here. Hi, Robin. I've been in Stampin' Up! For it'll be 8 years, the end of this month. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I love it. So in the 8 years that I've been a demonstrator, I have never seen a promotion like this one. We have two offers. $35 you pay plus tax, and you pick $125 in product for what we call your starter kit. Or if you want to spend a little bit more and that wish list is really big, and maybe you want that stamp cut and emboss machine, which is over $100, you could do the bigger kit, pay $99 for $189 in product. It's awesome. That in itself is awesome. The better side of that is immediately after you sign up as a demonstrator, you start getting your 20% discount. You can order the November online exclusives, which are only available to demonstrators right now. Customers can order in November. You get sneak peeks to all kinds of things, your catalogs and pre-orders and all that kind of fun stuff. In addition to that, yes, you have to, hey Jane, you do have to meet a commission. Excuse me, you do have to meet your sales quota every 3 months. But when you join in October, you've got until the end of April to make that first $300 sales quota. Woohoo! That's a long time, you guys. Time enough for whether you're making some purchases, or maybe you've got a couple friends or a family member who says, hey, what are you doing? That's so cool. I want to make some cards too. Pick up a few kits, pick up a few things, get a couple customers in there and say, hey, why don't you buy a couple kits? I'll get a couple. I'm going to work with you. Let's put some kits together. And then you've got people helping you. You've got those sales to help you meet your quota in the quarter. So those are things that I can talk to you about. I get going, I say I'm going to make it quick, but I get so excited, and I'm just so thrilled with this new promotion. And in saying that, I've had 2 people sign up this month. Connie Stevens signed up first, and then Kim Conrad just signed up over the weekend. Super excited to have these ladies on my team. I know what Connie can do. She's been a customer and a friend of mine. We've crafted together, so I've seen Connie's work. I haven't seen Kim's yet, but I am excited. I'm excited because Kim was excited to join. And so we're building a team here. I'm building, you guys. I'm working at it hard. And I would love to have you, if you've been on the fence about joining, give me a call, leave me a message. I'd love to get in contact with you and talk about the join offer. So there's that. All right, there was my spiel to get us opened up here. I'm going to turn you down to my table. Got just a couple quick announcements, and then I have a really easy fun fold card that I'm going to do with you. I think you're going to like it. So let's take a look and see what we've got going on. I also hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's nice and sunny right now. As you can see, sun is coming in my window, leaving some shadow. So I think I might have to pull the curtain. Hold on here. Let's see. Yep, that's going to help. Sorry about that. I like all the natural light, but sometimes the natural light makes the shadows, and that's not always very helpful. All right, I'm just going to make a couple quick little adjustment here. I'm sorry to, you know, there's benefits definitely to the people that do the switcher thing, which is a, oh my gosh, I think that's going to be good. We're just going to call it good. It looks a little wonky from up here, but I think we're okay. But Switcher Studio, where your camera just does the flicking and all that kind of stuff, is kind of cool. So anyway, I was supposed to have my Road to Christmas kit class at Scoops and Blooms this last yesterday. But due to my cold, it was a great idea to postpone that, and come to find out I had a couple people who were going to be in attendance who also were not feeling good. So it sort of worked out. I was able to reschedule it to next Saturday, the 25th. I do have a couple seats open. So if you are interested, maybe the 18th didn't work out for you, but the 25th would work out, I'd love to have you join me. So it's $25. Again, leave me a message, reach out to me, shoot me a text or something, and I would love to get you added into my class. And I really do have to adjust this because it is making me crazy. Sorry, you guys. So sorry, but it looked really off. So I would love to have you join my class. We're going to make 5 cards, and then I have a cute little card box that you can put your cards in, and you can gift them, or you can keep it for yourself just to keep your cards, and any future cards you make you could put in the little box. So join me on the 25th at Scoops and Blooms in Bath, $25, and class starts at 11 a.m. So message me. I'd love to have you. Just a reminder about our holiday card buffet. We do have just a few seats left. We're getting right down there. We're getting close to our maximum capacity. That is going to be Saturday, November 1st. It starts at 10 o'clock. It's $40. You make 12 cards. It is at St. Thomas Episcopal Church in Bath. That's right on Liberty Street, right at the main 4 corners in Bath. And Lisa Bailey and myself, we would love to have you at our card buffet. The details are in my Clever Creations by Lori group. And you can, again, message me, leave a comment or something, reach out to me, let me know you're interested. We'll set up arrangements for payment. It is prepay, so you do have to pay your $40. and then come to our event. You're going to have a blast. It's going to be fun. I already talked about that join special because I get so excited. I just cannot help myself. And so I would love to grab a couple more of you who maybe are thinking about it. I would love to talk to you and see if this is something that you would like to do. There's no obligation to stay on long term, no obligation to do Facebook Lives or any of that kind of stuff. But if you so choose, I'm here to be your supporter and your helper. So you let me know what's going to work for you, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the starter kit and a join promotion. All right. So I promised you we would take a peek at some new products that I just got. Again, one of those perks of being a demonstrator is we can pre-order some products that I don't know what is going on with my camera, my arm thing this morning. I must not have it tight enough. There we go. I think we're up there now. One of the perks of being a demonstrator is we get to pre-order products. So we get a little sneak peek and get our hands on some stuff before the customers do. And the purpose of that is so that we, if we so choose, can order some product, be able to share with you, share the excitement, share all the fun things, and then get you excited for when the products become available. So right now there will be some online exclusives coming out in November that customers can order. And I ordered a few things. So the first thing I knew I had to have was called Hobby Haven. I think it's called Hobby Haven Sweet. I didn't write it down. So the paper's called Hobby Haven. And then there's some products that go along with it. So it's this really pretty paper. I love it. All different kinds of crafts and hobbies and different things. This one, to me, it speaks spa. Very spa-like. And very beautiful. And then the back side, this watercolor wash pattern. There's another piece with the books and the reading. We've had lots of things with books in them. I think it's really cute. Hey, Dawn, how are you this morning? And then look at this. This is just a fun little pattern back there in pretty colors. Coastal Cabana and Lost Lagoon and pecan pie, crumb cake, basic beige. Just really cool. Very, very, very neat set of paper. Then we have this one with the chairs. Oh, I'm getting there, Dawn. Slow but sure. So we have this one with the chairs and the plants and stuff. I have a few friends that I know this would be awesome for them. And then the back side, just a petal pink with kind of a grid pattern there. And another fun one for the kitchen, for maybe the cooks in your life. People that just love all things in the kitchen, and the coffee maker and the blenders and the pie making and just all the things. I think that's really cool. And I love the colors in this paper. Let's see here. Got that one, and then this one. So we pretty much cover all the crafting. And now we've got sewing and crocheting and knitting and painting. And we've got paper scissors and just really fun. Oh, there's some glue there. I hadn't really looked at this one. Some pins. Oh my gosh, an iron. This is so cute. Oh my God. Oh, the old patterns. My mom used to sew quite a bit. And she made a lot of my clothes. I can remember some really special things she made for me. And she made stuff for my little brother, too. I had two younger brothers, but I remember her making stuff for the baby brother. Little outfits and stuff. And some really awesome things that she made for me. So I'm going to be careful with this. This is fun. These are die cuts. Oh my gosh, there goes my camera again. What the heck? Something is not tight enough. I'm trying to get it, you guys. I don't know what the problem is. I think I got it. So this one is really fun. All these little die cuts that go along with the different pieces of the paper. There's that little pattern again, and there's books and the coffee and the plants and just neat little die cut pieces that you can add some 3D effects to your card making, or great for scrapbooking. You know, obviously we are kind of getting into that whole scrapbooking world now, And so this would be a wonderful pack of paper for that. And along with that paper, we have a spool of ribbon called Chevron, and I believe this is Garden Green. It's really cool. Did I miss anything? Will you get a pack of the paper? I can't get that paper for you, Dawn, until November, so we will have to talk about that, yes. So there's this really cool ribbon that's part of the suite. Then this pack of really nice gems, earthy matte dots, they're called. And you know me, I've talked about it before. I really like when they give us these flatter embellishments because they're so much easier when you're mailing. These are a nice size and they are flat. There's just a little bit of raised. They're really cool. Love them. And I love the colors. What is that? Pecan pie. This is probably balmy blue? Huh. I would have said, or maybe it's supposed to be cloud cover. It might be cloud cover. Then this early espresso and real red, I think. I'd have to look back on the description because they're not on the set of the little dots here. But they're really pretty. Whatever they are, they're very pretty. Love it. Okay. So then along with this one of the Creative Haven is a set of stamps and a set of dies. Now you're seeing something different here. These did not come in the plastic case. The stamps did not come in the plastic case. That's because we are transitioning to the new slimline packaging. Your stamps and your dies are all going to come in the exact same size packaging. Regardless of how many stamps are in a set, how many dies are in a set, they're all going to come in the same packaging. So we'll take a quick look at that. People are working on, there's been a lot of ideas shared about how people are going to store their stamps and dies now. I'm going to take my time in thinking about that. I've seen some great ideas, and I think there's, you know, it's going to be trial and error. What's going to work for you? What's your space? I know it's going to save me a lot of space, so that I am excited about. I'm just grabbing a piece of dark paper so you can see the stamps. So this is a set of photopolymer stamps. Really cool. Some nice big one banners. That I'm sure there are some dies in here are going to coordinate and cut out those shapes of the stamps. Take a look at these dies. Now I already store the majority of my dies separately from my stamps. If there's a set of dies that are very exclusive just to the stamp set, like this has all these shapes, these banners, I will keep these separate. I'll keep my dies in their own packaging, but I'm going to keep them separate from my stamp set because I could use these dies for multi-purposes. Now, sometimes there's dies that are, I can't even think of how I want to say it, are just exclusive to a stamp set, and they're not something that I'm going to use just on their own. I would have to stamp the image, so those I sometimes will keep with them, with the stamps. But this one I would keep separate because of these banners and tags. So again, it'll be a work in progress just to see how you like them, how everybody decides to store them. I have some acrylic bins, and so I'm planning on storing mine in the acrylic bins that I already have. I think that's going to work well for me, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So in saying that about the new storage, you can buy just these, a pack of the Stampin' Storage die organizers. And if you want to transition some of your own stamp sets that you're going to be keeping into the same type of storage system, you can buy the extra of the storage organizers. So that's pretty cool too. So I did get a package of those just to have on hand, see how I want to do that. I'm going to take a quick sip here. Okay, let's take a look at another fun set. So Banner Sayings, loved these sentiments, the different fonts, love when they do kind of this, oh my gosh, the little handwriting. I just love the different fonts. So I think this is really cool. I love the variety of sentiments. But what I love the best is this new punch. This is called 3 Banner Punch. Look at this, you guys. 3 banners you can cut at once. So let me grab just a piece of scrap paper here. Oh my goodness. Grab a piece of paper, Lori. Just grab any piece of paper. So what's really cool about this is what I did here. I went through, I was making cards yesterday and cursive. Thank you, Dawn. You know, the cold, it's given me a little brain problem here. Of course, I have that often. But yesterday I was making some cards and I was using this banner punch. So I went through and I punched a whole bunch of white labels, grabbed some white cardstock and just went to town punching. But what I love about this is you can punch all 3 at once and just make, I mean, just go through your cardstock, especially white. But you can make some color ones too, because what I did was, so that's really neat. Let me just do this real quickly, tell you one thing. So if you really just wanted to punch just one label, you can do that. You can just slide it in just to the edge, just get this one. Get a smaller strip and just do that one. To me, that's okay. Sometime you might want to do that, but I think it's more probably effective for you to just go through and make a whole bunch and then just save them. Save them in a little baggie. But one thing I guess I was going to show you was yesterday I came up with an idea. Oops, let me get this one, show you what I did. So I stamped my sentiment on the white label with the double flagged end. And then I took this one with just the one flagged end and I kind of tucked it underneath there like that. So my sentiment was here and then I just added this one for a little extra pop. So lots of different things you can do with this. I think this punch is awesome and I'm going to bet that this is going to be extremely popular. So if you like punches, I love punches, especially ones like this. You're going to want to grab this as soon as it becomes available. It's going to be popular, you guys. It's going to be really, really good. Okay, another one that I got, a bundle, is called Friendly Foliage. And I was just very drawn to this. I think it's cool. Again, all the different fonts on here are absolutely beautiful. I like the sentiments. The Get Well Soon is what I used yesterday. And it's so funny because we have a suggestion box for Stampin' Up! And as a demonstrator, we can put in little suggestions for various things. One of the things just like a week ago, I had put in the suggestion box to make a set of stamps that have Get Well Soon, Feel Better. What was the other thing I wrote? Oh, there was a third one. I had 3 things, but the Get Well Soon and the Feel Better were top on my list. I'm always I wanted just a note. Just a note. I know we've had them before. I've put them away. I can't ever find them. I want just a stamp set that is simple little sentiments like that. And I want to keep it forever right here at my fingertips. And then I got this stamp set. I didn't even pay attention. I was like, oh my gosh, they read my mind. Here it is. So anyway, I love this. But I think it's all great. And then this is really fun. So you're going to see in here something I did that I saw some other people do. And I'm not sure if I'll keep doing it, but I thought I'd give it a try. So your stamp set is going to come. Sorry, mine's kind of messy because I did this real quick this morning. So your stamp set's going to come. They're all photopolymer now. You're not going to get red cling rubber in the newer stamp sets. As we transition, you may still get some if you're ordering from the older catalogs and stuff. You're still going to get red cling rubber stamps. But the new products are going to be photopolymer. So here's that. What some people were saying was they wished we'd have the inside, the insert like we do with some of our, let me find, like in our photopolymer sets. You get, in your insert has all the images and the sentiments for your stamps. So some people were commenting, oh gosh, I wish these new ones had that as well. So as a solution to that, what people were doing, what I've been seeing done is leaving your stamp set right here when you open up your folder, inking it really good, and then they just press this down, got their stamped image, and then the protective little plastic layer that always comes here, so you got a heavy duty one underneath and you get a lighter one on top. They just adhered that. Sorry for the smudge there. It doesn't really matter. This was just to kind of give me a quick look as I'm putting stuff back in here. Now I could put my stamps on this side so that they're right on here, but I just wanted to show you that that's what some people are doing. So as I said, it's going to be a work in progress as we adjust to this new storage system. I think it's going to be really good as far as space. It's going to really help save space. I love my dies. So this is a set. Here we go. This is one that I'm talking about before. This set is really exclusive to this stamp set. There's probably not a lot I'm going to do with this outside of using it with this stamp set. So this I may keep with my stamp set, whereas other ones where I can cut tags or banners or things like that, I might keep separately. So maybe that makes sense to you a little bit more now. But again, everybody has their own system, what works best for them, and that's the key. My pre-order was not huge. I really limited myself just because I'm still working on things for Christmas holiday events, and I didn't want to get too crazy. So I just picked up a couple things I knew I loved and wanted right away to share. So the other exciting thing is our vellum is back, you guys. I loved Stampin' Up's vellum. It is very thick, very durable, and it's just great. So they finally got it back. We've got 12 by 12 sheets now. So this will also be available in November. So yay. Yay for vellum. Very excited about that. All right. I think that's it for my pre-order. It was not big, but I was happy with it. Got a couple exciting things that I've used. And yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. There's so much more in there, you guys. I mean, there's a ton of stuff I really wanted, but you know, sometimes you gotta limit yourself a little bit. Okay, we're gonna make a fun card. This is so simple. I found this card yesterday. I needed a fun fold card, and I needed it relatively simple for something else. And I was doing a little looking. I had a couple ideas in mind. But then I found this one, and I fell in love with it. And let me see, the person who I found this, I wrote her name down somewhere. Uh-oh. Well, I thought I did. Huh. I will have to find it. Oh, shoot. Could have sworn I wrote it down. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I wrote direction. Oops, wait, I was going to get that out for you. I wrote down the cutting. Oh my gosh, I am having such a hard time right now. I wrote down the cutting, and I know I wrote her name somewhere. I remember writing it down, the name of her business. Huh. I thought I wrote it on this. Oh well, I'll find it. I'll post it. So this is very simple. If you want to take a screenshot of this, and then I'll walk you through it so that the directions, you know, just make a little bit more sense. So if you want to do that, Okay, so we're going to start with that card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then when I say mini card, this is going to be on the top of your card. So this piece needs to be 5 1/2 by 4. And then we're going to score this at 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while I've got my paper here and my instructions. So then that's just going to fold in half. So this is what I call the mini card. This is going to be on top. Then you've got your piece of designer series paper, which is going to be 5 1/4 inches wide. No, 6 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches long. So if your paper is directional, like this piece with these beautiful doves, you want to be sure that your 6 inches is going across the top. So the width of your card is 6 inches if you're going directional paper, and that your length of the card is the 5 1/4, because this is going to sit on top of this layer. We're going to fold it in a second. So you need it to fit on top of your card base. Okay, just like a standard card. So on this piece of cardstock, which is the 5 1/2 at 4 inches, I'm going to do a score line. And remember, with designer series paper, don't score too hard because you might cut your paper. Our, if you're using the paper trimmer, has a nice rounded little scoring tool here, scoring blade. So it's usually okay unless you get a little overzealous, which I have done before. All right, so we have those pieces. Then we need 2 pieces of white, which are going to be 2 1/2 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches long. And those are going to go one on top of here and one inside of there. Okay? So now you can choose to do, excuse me, your base in one color, and your little card on top can coordinate with your paper. So this has a little bit of the brown, a little pecan pie early espresso in there. So I chose to use a piece of early espresso just to bring out a little bit of that brown in the card. I'm just going to sand off that edge. I'm going to take a big drink. Okay. All right, so we did my score. This is actually going to go right here on top of this card. And you want the folded piece, the folded side, to go on the right-hand side. So it's going to like open like that. So that's your card base right there. Then on your little book fold that you've got here, your little top card fold, on the one that's going to go on the front here. Now, if you really wanted to, you could use designer series paper and then put a little label on there, all kinds of things. You can change this up any way you want. I'm just going to use cardstock because that's what I did yesterday and I kind of liked it. So I'm going to do that again today. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of embossing, but I want to stamp a sentiment first. Now please excuse me, I am going to use an old stamp set called Brightest Glow because I keep my holiday, I keep the majority of my holiday stamp sets because I usually love the sentiments so much that I don't want to get rid of them. So I am using an old one. And look what I just did. Isn't that a fine mess? Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment first in Secret C. And I'm going to stamp it right at the top. And it's a little crooked. I thought it was as I was looking at it. I need to get that lined up. Get that lined up a little better. There we go. That looks better. There we go. Much better. Okay. So I'm going to close that up. I'm going to do a fun little kind of a technique with my embossing folder. Now, I've got my sentiment at the top, and I want to emboss this just to give it some texture. So I've got this Glass and Garden embossing folder, and what I really like about this is the embossing starts on one side, and then it just gradually fades out. So it's kind of like a frosted glass, or I don't know. That's just what it kind of reminds me of. Well, it's called Glass and Garden, so I kind of like it as a frosted glass. So what I thought I would do is put my piece of paper in here like this, and I'm going to run it through the embossing folder so that I only have the embossing on this lower section of my piece of paper, my sentiment, my front piece here. So I had thought I would run it through my small embossing folder, but obviously, yeah, it's not going to fit because it only takes a 3-inch. So I'm going to go run this through my bigger Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, and then I will be right back. I promise you. Hold on. Oops. Sorry, got a little mishap over here. Hold on. I'm coming. All right. So can you see what I did there? I just embossed this lower layer by just putting my piece of paper in there partially. And I think that's really neat. So now I've got that. And I think what I'll do is add a piece of ribbon. I could add a piece of Designer Series paper as well. But I've got this beautiful satin ribbon. It's called Silver Edged Ribbon. So I'd really like to add that right there. So I'm going to cut that off. And now this is making me rethink my brown piece here, but we're going to see. I might use something different. Let me ponder that a second, because I hadn't planned on this piece of ribbon. It just came to me that we had this gorgeous ribbon. I do not have the entire suite of products that went with this paper. This was back June or July when they did the Creativity Now or something online, and I did not buy the whole suite. I just bought the paper, and then I'm pretty sure this ribbon went with it, and then I bought the ribbon. So what my original plan was to put it on there, but I'm now wondering, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. It's okay. Nope. I'm going to switch to Misty Moonlight, I think. Let's just do a mix of blues. Let me find a piece of Misty Moonlight. Yes, that is going to make me much happier. And so this layer for the mini card needs to be 5 and 4 by 5.5, and that's already at 5.5. Scored at 2 3/4. So we're just going to start that over again. Pivot. All right. Oh, I like that so much better. Yes. Oh, that's so pretty. Yay. Glad I did that. Sometimes, you know, the vision you had in your mind, just all of a sudden it switches up and you see something better. All right. So now I've got my little card made. And then I'm just going to add this on the inside. and we can put a little sentiment on there. So let's see. May the peace and light of the world be yours. Wishing you a season of hope and light. Where is that stamp? Oh, I think I have it in another set. Let your heart be light. Let's just do joy. Let's just put joy on the inside. I am using some of these sentiments on for the card buffet. So one of them I was thinking about putting on the inside is in a box for card buffet. Hi, Pat. Good morning. We're making a really easy fun fold. I'm going to make a second one here. Just finishing up this first one. Thank you for popping on. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. So then what you're going to do is just add this to the front. So this is making that really cool fun fold with your little card on the top. I'm going to use my, oh goodness, Tombow adhesive so that I have a little bit of wiggle room here, making sure I get it situated straight on. So I kind of like to lay it down and then get a look at it and then press, so that if I do need to shift it just a little bit, I can do that. Very pretty. And then I happen to have some little rhinestones here that I want to use. Man, I really love this card. Whoop, get down there. He doesn't want to stick. Maybe it's lost his sticky. That's what I'm thinking. Excuse me. There we go. So isn't that beautiful? So you've got your little card on the front. It opens up. There's your paper. I don't know. I just thought it was really simple, really pretty. Just something a little bit different. I really wish I could think. The person, the demonstrator, had a very unusual name. I remember that. But the name of her business was, oh my gosh. It was a little bit familiar. I had never heard of her herself, but her business name sounded slightly familiar. So anyway, I'll share that. But I just think that's really pretty. Such a cool little fun fold. All right, I've got one more for you already prepped, so let's make another one. This one, it's not going to be Christmas. It's just a general, more of a general themed card. So I've got my piece of cardstock here. I've got my designer series paper. I need to score this at 4. Whoops. You know what? We're going to do it this way because I had my paper, again, it's directional. So I'm thinking I like my leaves going up like this. And when I had it this way, my leaves were going upside down. So I'm just going to flip it over. And either way was perfectly fine. But I want my leaves going up. My flowers don't matter because they're just kind of all over the place there. So I'm just going to adhere that to the front. So that's why I'm saying if you've got directional paper, be sure you're thinking about that in your cutting as well as when you fold your paper where you put that score line. I should have scored it on the other side. I should have flipped my paper when I scored it to make sure my leaves were going the right way. But this worked out perfectly just by shifting, putting it to the inside. All right, I've got my piece of cardstock, which is going to be my little mini card. If you get a little rough, you know, when you're when your trimmer blades, or sometimes it's just some of the different papers, you might get that little bit of fuzzy on the edge of your paper after you cut it. I hate it. I can't stand it. So I just take a nail buffer and I give it a very fine little buffing there and get those little rough edges off. The other thing that is really smart to do is to clean the track of your paper trimmer now and again, because I can see that I've got fuzz in there. I've got little paper lint in there. So that's not good either. So you need to clean out your track. Use a little tool, or you can just use a piece of scrap paper, a little piece of cardstock. Go down in there. Look at all that I pulled out of there. So that's not good either. So it's a great idea to keep your trimmer track cleaned so that your blade gives you a nice cut. Whoops, and then I forgot to score. So I want to score this at 2 3/4. Now this piece I'm going to emboss as I did before, but I'm going to emboss it a little bit differently. So this is the second of that set of embossing folders called the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. The one has like that frosty pane of glass, and then this one is a floral image. So this time I'm going to use that floral image to kind of pick up the flowers from that piece of paper right there. And I'm just going to pop this right in here like that. And this one I can run through my mini stamp cut and emboss machine, and I've got that right over here to my side. So I'm going to bring that out, and we will emboss this one. Put that on there. So I've got plate 1, my embossing folder, and plate 3. This is the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. This is our smaller version. Great for a lot of your die cutting, the smaller dies. And there also are these smaller embossing folders that you can use in the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. If you're not, if you aren't ready to invest in the big machine, the mini is a great starting place for you, because there is a lot you can do with the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. The majority of your dies can be used in there. There are going to be some that are bigger, but a lot of them you can use in there. Not sure what that little spot is there. Oh, there's something a little sticky. Okay, so then I'm just going to attach that to the front. Thank you, Pat. I think it's a fun card. Like I said, I found this yesterday while searching for a fun fold for another project I was doing, and I really loved it. And I thought, oh, so I changed up what I originally had planned for today. I had a different fun fold, but I really loved this one, so this is the one we're going to do. Now on top of this one, I think we are just going to use some of these little fun pieces from the different ephemera packs, and I have mixed these up pretty good. I've used them a lot for different things, so they're kind of mixed in here. But I think let's see. Let's use, I just want a little something right across there. How about the Thankful for You? Let's see. I like that. I think we'll do that, and I'll put a little bit of ribbon underneath there. Let's see if I see anything I like better. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, so let me find some ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, let's stamp the inside first. Thankful for You. And let's add How about You're the Best? This is Label Me Grateful. This is a newer stamp set. As you can see, I haven't even put my stickers on it. I haven't used this one. I got it for an online class, and I have not put my cards together for my online class yet. So maybe I'll do that today, now that I've got the stamp set out, and I need to make those cards. You're the best. Yay, you're the best. Okay, so I'm going to put that inside here. There we go. And then I'm going to adhere that inside here. Make sure I've got it pretty straight. Looks good. Now let me find some ribbon. Oh goodness, here, that's not it. Oh gosh. Nope, that's not going to match. Where is that ribbon I'm thinking of? I know I have something. Huh. Oh, you know what? We could use Secret C, because that just really coordinates nicely. Kind of works into that Lost Lagoon and Pool Party kind of color there. So we're going to use the Secret C. This is one of the In Color ribbons, the faux linen ribbon in our In Color selection. And I kind of wish I had thought to add this ahead of time, but I think we're just going to do that. Maybe, does it need to go a third time? Let's see. Do I want 3 or just 2? Maybe the 3. I think I want the 3. Yeah, I want the 3. So I just took that piece of ribbon. It is 7 inches long. That was just very random. And I'm able to just flip it back and forth there. And a little bit of adhesive. Put that right, just a couple little slips of adhesive there, just to hold my ribbon down. There's that. And then I'm going to put my little sentiment from the ephemera pack on some dimensionals. I did pretty good. Just a couple little coughs. Nothing crazy, thank goodness. Oh, that is so pretty. Love it. I really, really like that. I just love this card fold. I think it's neat. And I should have taken my bone folder, and really, it's so important when you want things to lay flat. If you don't have a bone folder, find some other flat tool that you can use to press your creases down, to burnish your creases, so that it lays so much nicer. Now it's not flapping all over. So then you can open that up. We'll add a couple little quick embellishments here, and then I think we will call it good. It was a great, I'm just trying to find some quickie embellishments here. Oh, goodness sakes. So many to choose from, and everything is flopping over because I've got a little mess here. Oh, goodness. Let's grab those. The 25-27 flat pearls. We'll use the, again, I'm going to use the Secret C because it just is so close to picking up that Lost Lagoon color. And actually the Secret C one picks up the pretty peacock, so I'm going to throw that on there as well. Isn't that pretty? And that one, and let's do one more small one of the Lost Lagoon. Put that right over there. Or it's, that's supposed to be Secret Sea, but I'm calling it Lost Lagoon for this, so I shouldn't have done that. Secret Sea. All right, let me pick up a couple things here, and then, oops, I'm sorry. We will take a look at these pretty cards. Hope you guys enjoyed this little fun fold. I'm glad I was feeling well enough to do this today. Whew. Wasn't so sure the other day. So there's our little fun fold, the little front flip, the little card there. And if you wanted to add more space, you know, you could even, oh, I forgot to do my little buffer thing there, and I've got a couple little edges. I don't like that. There we go. If you wanted more space for writing, you could certainly add another piece of cardstock over here on the front. I love it with the white, and I embossed it, but you also could add your designer series paper, but this one I'm just absolutely loving with that embossing on there. I think that's so pretty, as well as this one with the embossing, but so many different things you could do with this, but a really neat, very simple card to create. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed spending some time with you. I will be back with you again next week. Can't wait. I'll come up with something else fun to do with you. So everybody have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a good week, and we'll be back next week. Talk to you later. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.